Before I get into this video, because I'm sure you guys and girls, you can obviously read the title, but I just want to thank all of my new subscribers that have been watching and liking and commenting. I do apologise, I haven't responded, as quick as I normally do. I have a problem with YouTube notifications, but I have now responded to all messages. Now, moving into the general bulk of this video. I'm very drained. I've had a lot of issues sleeping recently, like at all and eating, and there's a lot going on. But, I'm just going to stick to the facts. The long and short of it is, the committee have illegally sent me what they class as an eviction notice. And I'm going to read the reason why, and I'm going to explain why it's an illegal eviction. And I'm going to let you decide, but if you've got half a working brain cell, you'll understand that, yeah, this is not right. It stinks to high heaven. Now, you may be asking yourself, how can this committee unlawfully evict you? I mean, if they're evicting you, surely that's lawful. For it to be lawful, just like in a domestic property, it first has to go to court. And then the court, if they decide, will issue a court order. So since no court order has been applied for, it's totally unlawful. You see, this committee, as you're going to discover when we go further down this rabbit hole, is clearly playing games and trying to terminate me for personal reasons. This is a malice attack upon me, and I'm not entirely sure why, to be honest. I mean, as an example, now I know everyone here listening to this is smart enough to be able to cam. It is standard procedure to get 30 days to collect your possessions. These motherfuckers haven't even granted me 30 days, despite claiming it. No matter how much I try to actually bring this up, they ignore it. So let's look at this. I received the unlawful eviction notice on the 10th of November 2022. So exactly a month later would be the 10th of December 2022, right? Makes sense. It's common sense, right? There's lots of things in this case, and as I said, when we start going into more videos and I start really showcasing the evidence, you're gonna be like, how can they be getting away with this? And don't worry, they ain't gonna get away with it. But you'll understand that people, well, I can't even call them people or human beings, fucking tyrants is what they are beyond ignorant to the law, and they continue to break laws left, right and centre and refuse to hold themselves accountable for absolutely anything they've done. It is with regret that due to failure signing your tenancy agreement for 2022/23, the committee hereby give notice of eviction from the plot. Renewal of a signed tenancy is required annually. Let me just pause there. I've been on this plot, to the best of my knowledge, 2 to 3 years. The only tenancy contract I have ever signed was when I first took on the plot. So that's complete bullshit. Second of all, recently, and I'll go more into this, on the 10th of this month, which was literally 3 days ago, I had to go down the plot, as I say, more on this later, but I asked people specifically, do they know about this tenancy agreement? Yes, it's a regular thing, blah, blah, blah. Do you sign it every year? No. So that's complete bullshit there. This year's was due on the 30th of September 2022. A reminder was sent to you on the 8th of the 10th, 2022. As this has not been completed within 30 days of the due date, please make arrangements to remove personal belongings from the plot by the 30th of the 11th, 2022. Deposit money will be refunded on return of keys. Yours sincerely, Elaine Hitchcock, the secretary. Now, there's a video where I have a bit of a go at her, so you're going to see her ugly mug and you're going to hear what she's got to say. Now, they made reference to the 8th of the 10th, the correspondence. This is the first I've heard about having to sign a tenancy contract. So it says here, thank you for popping the rent in the post box, but you only put in £14. The rent is for 15 quid for a half a plot for the coming year, the same as last year. The facts are I put £15 in, they've lost £1, and with the next correspondence that I replied to, which went completely ignored, I even put in a further £1. I thought, oh, it's just £1. Your tenancy agreement needs to also be signed by you to continue with your tenancy for next year. Okay? Now let's just hold that and let's go back to the original, right? That sounds like the declaration that they're telling me for the first time, because it is literally the first I've ever heard of it. Now, on the screen, you'll see the first correspondence. A reminder was sent to you on the 8th of the 10th, which is this one. You can see, I'm going to flip back. Now you can see the 8th. How is this a reminder when nobody's ever told me about this? The payment of rent and the sign of the tenancy agreement is generally done at the AGM meeting. Now, for those who don't know it, I don't know what it stands for. I've never been to these meetings, but it happens once a year. And as she correctly identified, generally people pay their rent, sign their tenancy agreement, and yada, yada, yada. Don't know much more, as I stated. I've never been. It's always at the wrong time of year. It's too early for me. I have a lot of sleeping trouble anyway. So what I do, as she's correctly identified, although I'm not sure who this is, it's not the same person, or so they claim. But the facts are, I always put my rent in the mailbox. Never had an issue. Nobody has ever said to me, right, you need to re-sign a tenancy agreement, or we've updated it. Nobody's ever said nothing to me. If you could let me know when you're next visiting the site, I will arrange for a committee member to be on site with the paperwork and your receipt. Because in my correspondence, I asked for a receipt. Even though I've made a video of me posting it, because I really don't trust committees or council or anything. We don't appear to have a valid email address for you. If you could let me know your email and make communications between us much quicker and cheaper. Thanks for your help. Now, going back again to the so-called eviction notice, telling me it's a warning and you're past the deadline. Okay? So now going back to the first correspondence, where does it state there's a deadline? I mean, where did it say? And according to this other one, it's the 30th of September, I think she said. It's to complete within 30 days of the due date. Right? Yes, this year's was due by the 30th of September. Okay? Where was that in what they call their reminder, which, to my knowledge, is the very first time I know anything about it. Right? To the best of my knowledge, I responded on the same day. And words to the effect of, I wasn't aware anything about a tenancy agreement, yada, yada, yada. I'm not sure when I'm down the plot, because I didn't want to go into my personal issues. These are strangers after all. So I asked them, can you pin it to my shed, which is a common practice. The committee have quite often pinned things to my shed. That's not a problem. So yeah, can they pin it to the shed? Failing that, can they send the tenancy agreement to my home address? I'll sign it and put it in the mailbox. And the third one was, if failing all of that, i.e. if it has to be done in person, can somebody from the committee please ring me? My phone number should be on the system. Right? I put that in the mailbox, as I said, to the best of my knowledge, the same day. It might have been the day after. But I put it in the mailbox because I thought it was urgent. I wanted to get it over and done with. So the same day I reacted or took action to get it done. I'm a man of action after all. Now, in that meantime, certain issues have affected me. I'm just swamped with so much work, running 3 YouTube channels and a million other things that I do. There just wasn't enough time for me to sleep. So I'll do what I've quite often done. I put off sleep just to try and get as much work as I can done. Unbeknown to me, because I went for a period that is only a few days ago, that 2 weeks without any sleep. I wasn't eating, nothing. I wasn't very well, let's just say that. I'm not going to go into all the personal details and I'm not going to make excuses. But my point being, as a direct result of things that are going on in my life, let's say, it manifested and I wasn't cognizant of the time. Now, I knew a certain amount of time had passed. I'm still waiting for the committee to ring me, pin the tenancy agreement to my shed, or do something, or reply to my correspondence, or hey, give me a phone call. They do not list their phone number, and I'm going to get more onto that in a minute. So now back to the 10th of November 2022. Oh, I knew there was a letter because I had to sign for it. And I thought, well, that's weird. They don't normally get a sign. I had an idea they might be trying to evict me, but I'm thinking, nah, it can't be that. I mean, I've sent my correspondence. That's their reply. And I've already read it to you. So you might think, well, that's all right. Some mistakes happened. You need to get in contact with them. Well, this is what I tried to do. On the 10th, I went down the plot, hoping to speak to the committee members. Remember, there's no phone number, right? None. There is an email address that they make reference to, which I've never known about, on the notice board. But as far as I'm concerned, they should make me aware of it, not make me have to look on this notice board. And maybe now you'll be seeing a clip of all the notice board. There's so much shit on there, it's unreal. I don't even know what half of it is. Right, I'm a busy guy. I don't have time to be worrying about fucking notice boards. But I even went on the 10th to see if there was a phone number. No phone number. Didn't see this elusive email. And as you'll hopefully see on the clip, it's small. It's like, what moron designed something that's so small that needs to be readily available? And this information should have been given to me without even have to look on a billboard. There's Jenny. I don't know who she's talking to, but they're talking about some set date. I don't know if it's got anything to do with me. They claim that there's an email address on here, which should be a phone number. That's to do with St. Luke's, nothing to do with the plot. Allotment Society, welcome, blah, 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 blah. I do not see any email address on here. Oh, okay, there is an email there. Build day, well that's outdated information. That hasn't been updated. She tells me she updates it. He's not supposed to be there anymore. But even so, it's so small, it needs to be increased. I don't know what all of this is. You see, when you come in, you put your key fob right there. That's what you do. You put your key fob. Anything, that's where you should put notices. Anyway, I've been Allotment Diaries. You've been amazing. And I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.